Hey husband, hope you're doing awesome. In the last video, I talked about why it doesn't take two people to fix the marriage and giving you some exercises around anger journal and bulletproof journal to take that on for 30 days. So on this video, I want to talk to you about responsibility and the fact that until you get responsibility, what it truly really means, the probability of you saving your marriage is pretty much none to zero. And so I want to explain that. I know this sounds a little harsh, but just hang in there with me. So there's two ways a man can live his life. You will tell yourself sometimes there's an in-between, but if you're really honest with yourself, there is no in-between. Either you can be 100% responsible or you can be a victim. Now, the victim blames others, points the finger at others, focuses on problems, wrong or right, while someone who's 100% responsible takes a leadership role. Now, responsibility has nothing to do with wrong or right, has nothing to do with who made the mistake. All it has to do with is seeing what your doing is in any given situation. So think about it. A relationship is 100%. Out of that, you're 50% and your wife is the other 50%. Because you're such a big chunk of the 100%, you're half of it. Once you start focusing on your 50%, instead of blaming your wife or waiting for her to change herself, once you start focusing on your 50%, it is inevitable that her 50% is not influenced and doesn't change to some degree. So the key here is to seeing what your doing is in any given situation and start taking responsibility. Let me give you an example. Let's say there's an employee-manager relationship. The manager has a team of employees under. You're one of those employees. Maybe you work. And if you're a business owner, then in this case, you're the manager or the leader. So let's say your name is Joe, okay? Joe comes into work one day and makes a huge mistake. Now, at the end of the day, who's responsible? Joe or who Joe reports to? Most of you will say Joe because he made the mistake. What we say is, no, it's not Joe. It's actually the team leader. Because Joe's failure is the leader's failure. The leader now has to look and say, what did I do or not do that caused Joe to fail? Because Joe's failure is my failure right now. I got to ask the question, maybe I didn't hire the right person. Maybe I didn't train him well. Maybe he's going through personal issues and I just have to have a heart-to-heart with him. Whatever it is, now the team leader has to take responsibility to ensure that the issue is corrected. So if we take this analogy over to your marriage, if you are to be the leader of your family, then it's irrelevant what mistakes your wife has made. Because when you control your 50% and you start seeing your doing in any given situation within the marriage, that has nothing to do with blame or who's wrong or right or what the problem is. All you're doing is you're controlling the only thing you can control, which is you and what you do. And with that, it gives you the ability, the chance to control how the future is going to go. Because when you alter your 50%, there's no way the other 50% it's not going to alter as a result of you changing such a big chunk of who you are. So just keep that in mind. So let's now talk a little bit about, okay, so what's next? How do you actually get into this mode of responsibility? The way to get into it is to really, really, really start seeing your doing. So looking at your marriage as a whole and then isolating the areas that you're responsible for. So here's an exercise I'd like you to take on. In addition to the bulletproof journal and the anger journal, don't stop doing that. This is in addition to that. I'd like you to create a list of what you did or didn't do that caused your marriage to be where it's at today. Don't talk about her at all. This is only about you. So what are the things that you did or didn't do that turned your marriage to where it's at today? This will start to have you see you're doing and why the marriage is failing. And then you can start taking action around altering that. Very, very powerful. Okay, so take that on and see you soon. Cheers. Bye.